Oh,
tell
it's not,
them.
okay.
I showed a picture of it to
I'll
John.
call the meeting to order. It's October 1st, 2019, 6:30. I have Brother Greg Nemo. He's retired with the Crittenden Baptist Church Association. If he'll lead us in prayer, if everyone can stand.
Bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, as we come before you this day, I personally, Father, bring all these who serve in our county. I've watched them and talked with them, and I see that they're so busy with trying to get everything done for the people of this county. Father, they need your guidance. Would you give that to them, please? And I know I listened to them as they juggled their calendar around, just trying to find a date they can meet together. And I know that families suffer when individuals are away. So I pray for their families as well as they make time for one another, but also make time for their families. Thank you for this county, Father. It stands above all others. So, Father, just continue to be with this fiscal court and to be with all those who are in these leadership positions, please. Give them strength, give them wisdom, and give them peace. I ask this in your name, Lord Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Ed, if I can have you call roll.
Magistrate Riley,
Present.
Magistrate Kodar,
Present.
and Magistrate Humphrey,
Present.
and Judge Gills.
Present. First item is approval of the minutes. To present for a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting dated September 17th, 2019.
Having read the minutes of the regular meeting of September 17th, 2019, I make a motion to approve as presented.
I second.
I have a second. Any further questions? All in favor by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is fiscal matters. Present the review of the motion to approve the claims drawn on the general fund, the road fund, the jail fund dated October 1st, 2019, along with transfers as presented.
Having reviewed the claims drawn on the general fund, the road fund, the jail fund dated October 1, 2019, along with the transfers as presented, I make a motion we approve.
I second. In addition to that, I'd like to make note that we were privileged to come up on a backhoe for a rather very, it was like a 2014, and if Chuck wants to elaborate, he can, that we were able to purchase to help digging of the sides of the roads and ditching. And it was a very lucrative price for the county to purchase. So I think we're glad that we purchased that within our claims. And again, I second Roger's motion.
I have a second. Any other questions, comments? If not, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2 is present for review the Grant County Treasurer's Cash Position Report for the month of September 2019. No actions required. We all had a chance to look at that. Next item on the agenda is I have 2 executive orders, and I'll just briefly comment on both of them. One is for the coroner. The second one is going to be for the Grant County Detention. These are items that are already implemented. I'm just trying to update the executive orders on the use of blue lights. The one for the coroner is actually for him to continue the use of the blue light and it's utilized when they're trying to respond to death calls on the interstate where the interstate's blocked, just to get around traffic so that they could promptly do their job. The second one for the detention center is going to be, they utilize blue lights on their work vehicles when the vehicles are out with the work crews on the interstate so that they can be identified as emergency vehicles to keep from the deputies getting hit along with the inmates. So executive order on the number 1 is present for a motion to approve executive order number 2019-11 to grant permission for the use of red and blue lights and sirens on the Grant County coroner and deputy coroner's vehicles while responding to death calls.
I make a motion to approve Executive Order 2019-11 to grant permission for the use of red, blue lights, and sirens on the Grant County coroner and deputy coroner's vehicles while responding to death calls.
I'll second.
I have a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2 on executive orders. Present for a motion to approve executive order number 2019-12 to grant permission for the use of red and blue lights and sirens as necessary for the Grant County Detention Center vehicles.
Make a motion to approve Executive Order 2019-12, granting permission for the use of red and blue lights and sirens as necessary on the Grant County Detention Center vehicles.
I second.
I have a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Just to add to that, on these 2 executive orders are also supported by a statute that requires us to do the executive orders. So, moving down to ordinance. Present for a first reading ordinance number 11-2019-0234. It's an ordinance continuing fee pulling and purchase order system for the Sheriff's Office of the Grant County Sheriff, which was originally dated or done by executive order dated June 7, 1999. And this is also a cleanup, changing the executive order to a ordinance to be long-term of an action that's been continued on since 1999. I need a motion. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No,
It's the first reading.
Yeah, first reading. We'll be posting that in the Grant County News for a second reading on October 15th.
On that, Judge, when it come to the purchase order system where the first paragraph, where it's in accordance with the Grant County Administrative Code, was the conditions following, was that in conjunction with the Administrative Code? Did we,
The new one,
the new one, did we,
cross-reference it.
like on the requisitions for, was this in
Just request.
addition?
Actually, nothing changed. It's always been that way, and I don't,
That's what I was wondering, if,
Yeah. I
don't
since
think
we had
we-
changed the administrative code,
I
we
don't
didn't.
think you did.
Yeah, we actually didn't really change the procedure of the administrative code there.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we
And-
double checked that there was.
Yeah, the ordinance was in configure with the actual policy manual and the administrative code. With anything over $500, it has to have approval by the judge exec or his designee, which all lines up with the
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that
policy
we
manual.
aligned, since we changed that, we aligned it.
Yes. As I said, we'll be doing this
Second reading.
second reading of it on October 15th, our next court meeting. Moving down to new business, number 1, present for a motion to grant permission for the county treasurer to reissue any lost or damaged pre-approved payments without representing a claim to the fiscal court, as they have already been approved for payment in the previous meetings. I think we've talked about this, and it was the auditor agreed that we've already pre-approved the claim, and this is where that someone didn't receive a check, it was sent to a wrong address, so that we didn't have to bring it back to the court for a stop payment. That could already be done by the county treasurer and reissue a check out. And to add to that, the new PO system is designed
Yeah.
for that to be done.
On our previous system that we used, we couldn't do that.
Right.
But in this new software, we can do that.
Once it marks stop payment or lost check, then it will automatically reissue that check because it's already been approved by the court.
I make a motion to grant our county treasurer to reissue any lost or damaged pre-approved payments without representing a claim to the fiscal court, as they have already been approved for payment in a previous meeting.
I gladly second.
Yeah, that's gonna reduce like just administrative work typing it up and
Yeah, it's
time here, so.
And
amen.
I don't know what we were actually doing.
Equals
because
money.
We'd already approved the
Yeah,
claim,
and we're
so.
redoing it, yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a second. If there's no other questions, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
We don't look good.
Item number 2 on the new business,
And we can feel it.
present for a motion to grant permission for myself, Judge Executive Chuck Dills, to advertise for bids for repavement of Bullock Pen Road, which is County Road 1324. And if anyone has seen that road, I don't think there's any question.
No justification needed, huh?
Yeah, it's a step above a gravel road at the moment.
I make a motion to grant Judge Executive Chuck Dills to advertise for bids to repave Bullock Pen Road.
I'll
CR
second.
1324.
I'll second that motion.
And just to add to
What's the length
that,
of that, did you say? Like quarter of a mile?
it's a half a mile.
Half a mile, okay.
I think it's .47 or .48 tenths of a mile. And just so you'll know, this is going to be part of the flex funds that will be utilizing to repair that road.
How long's it been since anything was done to that road, Steve? Do you remember when it was ever paved to begin with? In the 90s, yeah.
I was in elementary school.
So
It's
there's
getting
no-
in horrible shape down there.
Well, I just want you two to know that
What?
Lincoln Ridge has been done, and School Road has been done, and now Bullock Pen.
We're good.
Okay,
We're
okay,
good.
you got
Our
to
range is gonna fill the love. Fill the love.
Central County next.
I want to feel the love, yeah.
So, and they're going to be doing there's quite a bit of ditching and some repairs to be made during the pavement.
Yeah, there's culverts that's got to be replaced, ditching's got to be redone.
Is the goal
It's-
to try to get this done before winter sets
Yes.
in? Okay, well, good luck.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Hey, it didn't take them too long to finish the other two, so.
I thought it was, yeah, I thought.
Plus down there on the
pretty
end
good.
where the school bus turns around, they've got it wallered out so bad.
Yeah,
The buses are having trouble getting in and out.
Was any of this damage due with the dam work that was done out
No,
No.
this
No,
is,
huh?
the
That's
dam's
Rainbow
over
Drive.
on
That's Rainbow Drive.
there?
That's
Close,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, Rainbow had the slippage, and they're the ones that we haven't repaved that section until they're done with the dam work, and then as soon as they get done with it, we'll pave it. But the contractors has assured us, and they've been doing a good job, they're keeping it gravel packed down, so we're actually going to have a real good base on Rainbow Drive when they do get finished to pave it.
What is it? Oh, yeah, he bought that.
Now, there is a bond on,
Yeah.
the state has a bond on
See,
that.
it's through Fish and Wildlife.
Certainly true.
It's who they're going through, and Fish and Wildlife made them put the bond up. And plus,
Yeah.
they stay in constant contact with us to let us know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know how often he calls Steve, but I talk to that guy at least every 2 to 3 weeks. So he gives a call to me.
That road will have the best base in the entire county when they get done.
Yeah. Because no telling how many tons of gravel they keep putting on it. Okay, moving down to departmental reports. Present for review to the Grant County Animal Shelters Report, Grant County Inspectors, Building Inspectors Report, and the Grant County Road Supervisors Report for the month of September 2019. No actions required. Has everyone had a chance to look at the
Yeah, Chuck, I
activity?
just wanted to acknowledge, like, there's legit, like, a page and a half of activities happening, whether it's new home construction or additions or demos, like a page and a half within the building inspector for the month of September. So, like, a lot of activity
Yeah,
happening.
it's continuing to increase.
I mean, I feel like a pretty heavy uptick.
Yes. Any other questions on the reports? I'll wait that.
Copy of that new construction report. I just, the reason why I want it is like to try to see if I can project up
Yes. Yeah, stop down the office when we leave here and get a
You
copy.
have, you can have mine, but you
Yeah.
probably want more than just
Ma'am,
the
mine.
members.
Oh, okay. Let me see yours. I didn't get a back copy.
Yeah, on the very back.
Oh, see, I was
I
looking.
didn't get that either.
I didn't get the second copy. You got, I didn't.
I apologize, but can I get an update on the bid situation down south?
So really, you want to update? It's a lengthy one, John. It is a lengthy one. He couldn't even text me back. He said, you need to call me. It's complicated. Yeah, we can.
There, yeah,
I can-
yeah, Blanchett Road, the bridge is done, and Steve, actually, if you want to add to it, they're supposed to pave, Eaton Asphalt is going to pave both sides of that bridge, what, starting Thursday?
He says either Wednesday or Thursday, they were gonna put the approaches on both sides. And then, I guess they're gonna start tearing down the old bridge. Hopefully,
Yeah, they had said at the state that they have a demolition meeting on Thursday for the bridge. They just got approval, what, Monday or Friday?
Yes, no, yesterday from the railroad.
So Monday from the
Yeah.
railroad that they can demolish the bridge, and so they're waiting for District 6 on Buttermilk Pike to declare whether or not, once the paving happens, if they'll officially open the road, or if they're going to have to wait until it is fully demolished and removed. And so that decision hasn't been made, but the state did acknowledge today that today was the deadline for them to have opened the bridge and have it completed, but they lost about 6 weeks as a delay from the railroad communicating back to them as to when they could officially take down the bridge. And then those residents also realize we have Wriggler that's on point to do a section of paving where the road had slipped last spring. And that's been reconstructed, by GSI several months ago, and it's been thankfully held together really nicely, Mr. Tatum, for what it is from a gravel standpoint. And so then we're trying to work out logistics on that as well. Are they going to have to go all the way around the horn out 36 or 330? Or will they come across the bridge with that asphalt to get to the 2 sections of the road that were repaired several months ago? Yeah, he said slowly but surely. He said we're in the home stretch.
Yeah, I'm hoping within a couple of weeks that they'll have it done. So that's what we're hoping for. Our hands are tied. It's the state and the railroad has always sort of been the one that holds it up.
The other project in that area is back to the drawing board too, because it came back millions of dollars over budgeted. The bids that came back for the at-grade crossing. So the opposite end of those roads, you could just say that all tied together, that's back at the drawing board, the best I could get from an update from the state as a result of the plans that were drawn up. And when they went to bid, they came back significantly over. And then the state also started construction on Cynthiana Bridge at the end of Dump Road there, which that's projected to take about up to 45 days to complete.
Moving down to Judge Executive Report, which I had on here, bridges, to touch base on them, which I think she pretty well covered the bridges. As she said, Cynthiana Road Bridge is down. We posted on our Facebook alternative routes to get around on Cynthiana Road. Also, I just want to mention that we had our senior bash last Thursday. Got a lot of positive response. I want to thank the magistrates and all the staff of the fiscal court for their support. It was a great success, and looks like maybe we'll try to do it again next year. And was real thankful that the ARC let us utilize that facility to put this on and give a nice location for our seniors to be at. Also, I just wanted to cover that road department, I've been working close with Steve on different things they have going on. They were on Lexington Trail today doing some repairs. They've been fixing potholes. We're looking at some other road work to do on some cul-de-sac issues with some drainage. And then also to add what Sean has said, we were able to luck into a mini excavator. It's a Bobcat brand. The sheriff's office had seized it on a stolen property, stole out of northern Kentucky. We had it for a number of months after it was stolen, for 7 or 8 months. And the insurance company had already paid off on it. They paid off close to $40,000 for the mini excavator, and we were able to purchase it for $15,000. So it was a real good purchase for the county, something that could be utilized to fix our drainages alongside our roads. It's small, it's rubber tracked, so we'll get a lot of use out of it. It's a piece of equipment. As Shauna asked if we were planning to get one, that piece of equipment runs about $60,000, so it wasn't on our radar just because of the cost of it. But when this came down the pike, it was sort of a no-brainer. So we were fortunate to buy it. I'm glad the magistrate supported it because the road department can put it to use. So that's really all I have to add. I'll move on down to anything if the magistrate want to add anything. If you want to start, Magistrate Humphrey.
Yeah, going on the with the mini excavator, it's a whole lot easier to move it location to location instead of that backhoe we've been using and other equipment. And I'm sure it'll get wore out here in Grant County trying to.
Hey, I already have you a whole list, and I didn't even know we were going to get it yet.
But,
I'm waiting for Friday, Mr. Tatum.
Steve has assured me he's starting on the north end of the county, working his way south.
I would like to be given lessons on how to operate.
Oh, boy.
It has insurance on it.
It will tomorrow.
It will tomorrow. You'll have to double it now.
You don't have to have a CDL to drive that thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Magistrate Codar.
We had, touching on the senior bash, I talked to many people. We got to see a lot of folks I hadn't seen for a long time, and it was a pleasure to attend in a controlled environment. And so many of the folks even told me, said this was the first event that they've ever been able to attend because of their health. And they went on to say that, I met folks that had emphysema, they couldn't stand in the heat. Had folks that was in wheelchairs, they couldn't get around the rougher terrain. It was great for them there. They had handicap facilities for the restrooms and so forth. And they really enjoyed it. And some of them even said, this is the first one I've ever been able to attend, and we hope to attend many more if the good Lord willing. And we hope they can, because that's for these people of the county. I want to touch base on one other thing on the north end of the county. As you've probably seen, or you'll be seeing in the paper, City of Crittenden received a grant for a little bit over $100,000 for some repair on Oakwood Drive there in Crittenden. And I want to give some credit where credit is due, and that's to Judge Executive Chuck Dills on this. A lot of people won't tell you this, but I will, because I was present when he told them about it. He told the mayor down there how to get this money and who to contact to get this money, to get this ball rolling, and he did it. And a lot of people are not going to give him credit for it, but I'm going to give him credit for it, because without him, they wouldn't have got this money. And so we're just going to put credit where credit is due. And that's all I have.
Shauna?
Do I get to go? No.
Nope.
No. No, on the senior bash, I appreciate the thank yous from the citizens, but I think credit goes to there was a lot of people that helped make the senior bash happen. As I reiterate what Mr. Humphrey said about the Ark Encounter, having a place, such a nice place to go to for the seniors, and also the students that helped with the serving. They did a tremendous job, and even the Ark Encounter wanted to know if they could go hire them. But they did. They did a very good job, and also the vendors. The vendors was really good too. They showed up, and were really appreciative for them coming. Also, I'd like to report a little bit on the EMS, our invoicing for this month. We were charged for, it looks like, 26 runs, county runs. So as Chuck and I have been sort of monitoring this ourselves through the 911 to see how we're staying on target with this. It seems like we're a little bit above what was estimated originally, but I think it's good to make it come to surface to see what the potential and where we could lead with the responses. Also, the week of October the 13th through the 19th is the Kentucky Extension Homemakers Week for the state of Kentucky. They got a lot of events going on. Our homemakers in Grant County really do a lot, even in the little individual pockets. There's some over around the Mount Zion area. Of course, you got the Crittenden, you got the Dry Ridge. But it's their sign-up month, so if anybody would be interested, you'll see them around the county a lot this month. They're going to be at Walmart one day trying to register people to get more involved with the homemakers. But all in all, for Grant County, we still have a very large homemaker Kentucky Extension homemaker group, because it has dwindled down across the state. I don't think the homemakers are what they were in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. But anyway, they provide a lot of services. And also our disc golf in Crittenden's coming right along. Chuck and I went on a field trip one afternoon, and it was really hot that day.
Last week.
Yeah, but looks like they've got it all mapped out. It's supposed to be an 18-hole disc golf course, and I'm excited about that.
And all the baskets were delivered yesterday.
Oh, cool.
So,
yeah. And as I say, if you haven't seen disc golf, get on YouTube. It's a lot more popular than we understand around here.
Sharpen your skills.
I'm going to play Jacqueline one night, I think.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Park closes at dark.
Oh, the park closes at dark. No, we're going to have a night. We're going to have a disc in the park.
Oh,
We can have neon.
Yeah, neon. Yeah, well, you can get neon.
I know.
discs. Huh? Yeah,
Neon.
yeah, they
There
use
you
it.
go. It
Oh,
will.
they do. They do it for
they'll have
everything.
tournaments
it would
there.
be.
Yeah, and they have neon ones that you can do in the
play
dark.
at night.
Yeah.
Do you have anything left, Chuck?
District 1, just wanted to acknowledge that we had the second Farm to Table event on September 20th. A lot of special kudos goes to the Grant County culinary students that prepared a very delicious meal, and to both Grant County and Williamstown FFA students who helped prepare that, but more than that, serve that. And so a lot of folks worked to provide that event, and it was a successful event hosted downtown on Main Street. Work Ready Community, we're still waiting for a status update from Frankfurt. Therefore, we have postponed tomorrow's regular scheduled meeting. And frankly, we covered a lot on the bridges in District 1. We're just waiting for the approvals to open.
Good deal. Moving down to Jailer's report, we have Jailer Mike Webster here with us. See anything going on at the jail?
There's a lot going on. For our count, we had 44 county inmates. I have 23 Madison County inmates. My state inmates are 177 for a total of 244. On the mowing slowed down a little bit. The heat has been extremely high, so we've used that time to pressure wash the sheriff's office and the outside of the jail and do some cleanup stuff around that. With the grass slowing down, we're going to get right back out on the roads and start picking up trash along the roadsides. So for the citizens, just be watchful of the work crews when you see them. If you guys got anything that you need us to look at, just email me and we'll try to get out there on a timely basis. We're also, I believe we got a project to do with the disc golf, so we'll get started on that as well.
Great.
That's pretty much the.
Still working on the SAP program.
Yes.
Getting a
Still
director.
working on that. and moving forward, but a little slower than I wanted, but it's going to happen.
Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Our next is Chief Deputy Todd Cummins, a celebrity today.
Woo!
And for anybody that didn't know or hear, he was on Cincy Lifestyle this morning. Him and Tim Polly, the Sheriff's Office chaplain, actually talking about a great program for everyone that don't know, that October is Cancer Awareness Month.
Breast cancer awareness, yeah.
And that they were on the program today speaking of how they raise money with the pink patches to give to Sandy Hospital for research and study.
So, and on that, if you want to buy a patch, we have patches, we have mugs, and we also have magnets.
Ooh, I like
at the
that.
courthouse, at the sheriff's office, all for sale. All that money goes to local St. E, the cancer awareness stuff. So it's a good program. We're one of only 3 agencies in the state of Kentucky that's actually accredited with the National Breast Cancer Awareness Program. And I give all the credit to Chaplain Polly. He started that. He's really involved in it, really likes it a lot, and works hard at it. And to going to Cincinnati today to be on the television, I've never sat down in the studio and done that before. It's actually pretty neat to see all the television cameras and stuff like that out there. So it was really a neat experience to do that. So I want to get into that. We've got 1 new cruiser on the road. We've got the other ones that should be they keep telling me within the next week or 2 that they should be delivered to L&W to get those on the road. Unfortunately, we lost another deputy. His last day of work will be October the 5th. He's not going to another agency. He's going to go somewhere else to make more money than he would make at another agency. He's going back to work in construction. So we are in the hiring process. We actually did a physical agility test on Saturday along with a written test. We had 18 applicants sign up. 9 showed up. 1 failed the physical part of the test and 2 failed the written test. So out of the 18 possible, we have 6 candidates that we'll start interviewing next week for the vacant positions that we have. It's a long process. We're looking at probably at the earliest maybe February or March of getting them into the academy, which is 25 weeks long, and then they have 12 to 14 weeks of FTO. So it's a year before we ever get another deputy to put on the road. So it's a long, drawn-out process to make sure we get qualified candidates and get them trained properly. So
And just to add that, the academy's 20 weeks, but it takes about 25 because of the
holidays and
holidays.
stuff like that. Because if it's 4th of July week, they take the whole week off. So you add that week onto your academy.
How many field hours do they have to do after the academy?
They'll do usually anywhere from 10 to 12 weeks of field training after they get out of the academy.
It's about 400 hours.
On top of their 20 weeks of training, whatever that is, 2,000 hours of training, they do that on top of that, so to make sure they're fully trained. So it's a process. It's a long process, but it's got to be that for them to be certified when they get done.
It's a long process when you talk about FTO, showing them every nook and cranny in the county.
Right.
And
It's a bit 247 square miles. Okay?
right.
There's a lot to be shown.
A whole lot to be shown, a lot that people don't realize.
I think tax season started today, so
Yes, you should be receiving your tax bill
I didn't
in
hear,
the
I thought you
next
said
48
tax
hours,
season. I was like,
72 hours.
I was like, what's tax?
Yeah.
tax season.
I was like,
Started
not like
today.
the hunting season?
Tell the sheriff thanks. Okay, that's as far as reports. We'll move down to citizens' address. Does anyone want to address? Diane?
I just wanted to ask, you've got the heating, ventilation, air conditioning project underway. I think that's a big project for the county, and it's, of course, important for this building. And I just wanted to know if you could provide just a brief update on where we're at with that project and how it's going.
They're actually starting tomorrow up here. Now, they've done a bunch of legwork, but they're actually going to start, the crew is coming in tomorrow to start working. So, no, by the 15th of our next meeting, I'll be able to give you a real good update of how it's going. But I've looked at all the work, and I want to thank you, Diane, for helping get the RFP together, so it's good direction.
Also, Judge, on that, you might mention how much pre-work that
That's
we
an
did.
update you could share with her about all the stuff that was hauled out of here.
Oh,
about
yeah, they-
$7,000 probably worth of
Yeah, the maintenance guys, which Jason and George,
savings, I should say.
Yeah.
really helped out with savings. They disassembled the boiler, which ended up weighing 6,000 pounds. They had to take it out in sections, use backhoe. Williamstown loaned us, because it was close, their backhoe, to be able to put it into the county dump trucks and get it to the scrapyard. And then they just finally finished up, all but a couple in the ceiling, all the radiators. If you noticed the white spots on the wall, they've got all the radiators staged downstairs in the basement, and I'll be meeting with the gentleman who will be putting them on an online auction, so that we can try to get more money out of them that way than surplusing them to scrap. So that's it. Anybody else have any? Oh, Jay?
2 weeks ago, you had your meeting, and we were in Arizona, and I want to thank you for televising what we're putting online, because we were out sitting in Phoenix and watching it, so that was great. We weren't there here, but we can see.
That was
But
a
you
heck
were
of a
here.
vacation if you were watching us.
But questions were brought up about some properties on 330, and I live on 330, and I had some people asking me about it here this last week. Has anything come up with that, or has anything changed on that, or they appear to be banned properties. I mean, I drive by them every day, and I know that there's a weed thing, and I just was curious what has transpired since that meeting in regards to that.
Well, Brian Miles, and he was gone today meeting with Republic Trash today, this afternoon. But I've spoke to Brian about it, and they're going to do some follow-up to see if anything, after talking to Stephen, if there's any violation of the ordinance.
Yeah, and I think, just to be clear, I brought my ordinance with me tonight, so I'm not caught off guard about what it says, but at any rate, there's the verbal, then followed up by the written, and then the written is followed up by another written, if you will, because that's the actual notice of violation of the nuisance, and then after that's done, you get into the period of time in which they have to clean it up. So it's a long process. It does start with, and I'm rereading some of this, I'll talk to Brian about maybe some avenues that we could explore along the lines of the abandoned structures, dilapidated conditions, and the definitions of those, or how we want to construe that those are going to be defined. But I'll speak to him once again, I haven't seen these, and so I guess Todd can speak to this. I prosecute the case. I don't investigate and prosecute the case. So I need somebody to bring me the case and say, here's what we've got. Then many times I might say, well, hold on, I need X, Y, Z to firm this thing up. I haven't even seen the first part of evidence of this thing. So I'm confident that Brian in the past has brought me the entire case, and it looks like it's laid out. We'll see what he brings me, and we'll go from there.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Just looking, I mean, they're looking for it, and they're out there for a while.
I don't even know who you're going to send the notices to.
Well, they'll serve them personally, or
Yeah,
try to
and that's
find
what,
somebody.
let me say, that's part of the issue. Okay, so,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
from the standpoint of somebody's getting that, we've got to track those people down. And I will tell you, I was involved in a case early on when I started as county attorney, and we actually had the guy, we had him served. He came all the way from Campbell County Jail to Grant County Jail. We did not know that he wasn't being transported, so we had to postpone getting him over to the jail, or over to the courthouse, have him transported. So what should have been a fairly easy get him served ended up being a 6-week process of move him from Campbell County Jail to the Grant County courtroom to serve him with a notice of violation, at which point he said, yeah, I don't care, just bulldoze it. And so that was it. But, once again, the process has to be followed, and we can't shortcut anything.
Yeah. We're going to
As
stay
am
on
I.
it. So,
As am I. I want to see what it looks like myself, so, yeah. Yeah.
anybody else have anything to address? Steve, is there anything you need to add? We haven't covered.
You,
Okay. I think it's greatly needed. Before I ask for adjournment of the meeting, I want to remind everybody, the next court meeting will be Tuesday, October 15th, 2019, 6:30 here at the Grant County Courthouse. With that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I will second.
I have a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I thank you all for coming out.
Thank you.